I am just getting you, woo, let me get you locked into my thing here. There we go. Okay, just adjust you. I would do this beforehand, but actually, I think the way YouTube's live stream is set up is like when you have to determine whether or not you're going to stream vertically or horizontally, and so it kind of like auto detects that. So I have like if it's already in the tripod, it like thinks I'm not horizontal. So anyway, Pisces, I hope you don't mind, but I'm doing a live stream this month. Just because I just was explaining to Aries, I don't really feel like I have it in me to, you know, get dressed and put my face on, do my hair. You know, I know that there's plenty of times that I record like not looking good, but I really do need to do my glam, which I think I'm going to do after this video, or at least start it. Like I've washed my hair a couple days ago, but I didn't style it. So it's just been like this natural air dried furrow on top of my head, Lord. Anyway, it's okay because I really just want to focus on making sure I put out my content and not, you know, not really making other excuses for not giving you a full month reading, because I really hate that I wasn't able to give you a full reading for October. So anyway, if this is your first time here, we're going to dig into your monthly forecast with this deck. All of your cards are shuffled already, Pisces. We're looking into the month of November overall. Then we're going to get into your love and relationships and career and finances. Those spreads are going to be the same, where we look into what to expect, the unexpected, and theme of the month. I'm going to go ahead and start to clear these off the table though. Guys, this is a collective reading for the zodiac sign of Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. If you hear anything that connects with you, feel free to check out my offerings below and you can book a private session with me. But don't make the shoe fit. If you hear something that doesn't really connect, that's okay. Maybe this specific message isn't for you, but I would encourage you to watch your moon and your rising as well to see if those messages connect with you a little bit better, okay? Because I want you to be able to get something from my channel. Okay. So anyway, yeah, we're not doing on camera this month and we're going to go back to our regular format. Okay. That's the long and short of it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my timer going so I can kind of sort of stay on track. Current self, Queen of Wands. Great. Theme of the month, strength. Okay. Vehicle to pursue is Four of Pentacles. That's security. Obstacle to overcome, Queen of Swords. Okay. Major accomplishment is Eight of Cups. Interesting. Aries had this in the exact same position. What to avoid is Knight of Cups. That's interesting. What to embrace is the Seven of Cups. Options. Where to find support is the Sun. Clarity. Maybe also children. And advice and encouragement is Three of Wands. Okay. You know, immediately the things I'm hearing are like better off alone. You know, you're going to miss me when I'm gone. I don't know, that there's that kind of like energy here of like, you know what, I didn't need you anyway. If I'm getting this immediately, I'm just getting senses of like you, Pisces, wanting to make something work, but somebody not wanting something to work as much as you want something to work, and that's causing friction, and then ultimately you decide to move on. That's just like some immediate feelings that I'm sensing. Back of the deck energy is the Devil. Perhaps this involved a Capricorn, as the Devil does involve a Capricorn. But it could also be related to some attachment that you have maybe with someone. The Devil is connected to work. What's behind that? The Two of Wands. Maybe you were planning on making some changes in your career in the recent future. Maybe you're implementing that here based off of what's happening with the Queen of Wands and the Strength card. The Devil is also connected to passion and again, attachments, things you can overindulge in. There is a sexual message coming through. And if that is connecting with you, I'm feeling a little bit of regret. Like I'm feeling like you wish you hadn't hooked up with somebody or exposed yourself to somebody in a vulnerable way. I'm not necessarily getting or sensing that you were taken advantage of. I'm just getting more feelings of regret. I don't know if that's connecting, but if it is, you know, let me know in the comments below. let's go ahead and just jump in. So I'm going to go ahead and explain the tarot cards first, and I'll go and clarify anything that I feel that we need to clarify for you. Current self is Queen of Wands. That's fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, in case you're dealing with a fire sign. Feminine energy, most likely female, but could be a male with feminine energy. The Queen of Wands is very charismatic, very alluring, very attractive, very confident. So you're starting out the month of November in the energy. I love it. Very determined as well to get what you want. She's able to manifest pretty much like anything she wants. Because like, you know, it's like pretty privilege, right? Like when you're pretty, people just do shit for you. Like me being like going to the grocery store pretty versus going like looking homeless, I get treated completely different. I get treated completely different. People might actually bag my groceries for me versus when I look like crap, they just like stare at them. Like it's like it's unfortunately just the way the world works. Pretty privileged. Okay, so that's where you are, Pisces. Theme of the month, strength. Okay, this is Leo energy in case a Leo is important to you. But this is also about perseverance and like kind of mustering up the energy to do what's important to you, mustering up the energy to persevere through a difficult situation. Whenever I see the strength card, Pisces, it's usually a message to keep going even if a situation is difficult. It usually also is confirmation that you will get through the trials and tribulations, okay, even though circumstances are challenging. I hope that's helpful for whatever you're going through. Key goal to pursue this month is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is connected to security. It's also connected to being conservative with your resources, time, and energy. So maybe this is a big month for saving for you. Maybe you're cutting back expenses and seeing where you can save a little. Honestly, I would be shocked if all Americans are not doing that right now. But really, truly, for you specifically, Pisces, you're trying to figure out, okay, like how can I cut back? What do I need to not focus or what do I need to let go of? You're trying to focus on your security and stability and like trying to go with that. The Four of Pentacles is also about holding back as it connects to relationships. So maybe you're doing just fine financially, but maybe you're thinking about calling back your energy in some kind of way with something or someone this month. That is going to be a card I would like to clarify. The obstacle to overcome this month is Queen of Swords. This is air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But this is also someone, whether or not they're an air sign, that's very perceptive, very intelligent, very communicative. She's no bullshit, okay? This is definitely giving a feeling that maybe you're dealing with a hard ass this month. There's somebody who is kind of annoying. They're good at what they do, but they're annoying to work with. And you being a water sign, you're much more intuitively led. You work as you feel. You don't work at someone else's pace just because you're told to. And I kind of feel like you're dealing with a hard ass in some area of your life. And it's like oil and vinegar is kind of what I'm getting from this. If you're not having challenges with anybody in your life, then this could connect to you needing to tap into Queen of Swords energy, maybe getting out of a little bit of laziness. And you would only be lazy, from my opinion, because maybe you're tired, maybe from exhaustion, okay? And maybe you're being encouraged to push through. I was listening to a video from Hines the other day, and I haven't listened to his content or watched any of his content in a long time, but I was listening to it the other day. I was taking some stuff to recycling. And he was talking about like how we can, and these are my sentiments exactly. And I don't know if you've ever heard me express this in any of my other videos, but I always say I'm never going to be a girl that can 100% be in soft life. I don't care how much money I have. I'm just somebody who's like really extremely motivated by like a mission and like wanting to perform and wanting success. And I'm very success driven. So I just, unless I have a family, maybe that might change me. But as it relates to myself right now, that's just not who I am. And so the point of me mentioning this is that he was talking about how we all, like we've demonized hustle culture so much that now we idolize soft life. And he was saying that that's not realistic, and I completely agree. And this is what I say, people like, you can't be in soft life all the time. There are just certain seasons where you just have to push through. And so the video was so good. If you guys find it, go to his YouTube, Hindsight, HINDZIGHT. Just type in Hines, HINDZ, and you will find his channel. It's like his videos are such a vibe. He's a professional videographer, so his content is just like so relaxing, so peaceful, so lovely. And so he goes on to say how he gives some examples about times in his life where he needed to persevere and push through and like grind it out. And he discusses burnout, and he discusses intentional intensity. And that's really kind of been resonating with me in my head the past few hours since I heard it yesterday, of like allowing yourself a season to like grind it out intentionally, like not just burning it out because you feel pressure to. And he explains it so much more than I can, and I need to shut the fuck up before I explain his whole video. But the point of what he was saying is, he was like, there have been times in his life, and I agree with this, where he like had so much on his plate, but it didn't really faze him because it was fulfilling. And I've been there as well, where there's just so much, but you're like, it's a lot, but like, it's okay, it's rewarding. But then there's other times where there's a lot on your plate and you're like drowning. And it's usually because you're crumbling from pressure of other people's expectations, which I also agree with. But he mentions, intentional intensity. And I think that is just brilliant, of like allowing yourself a season of, yeah, I'm hustling this season, I'm going for it this season. And then there's seasons where you're like, okay, I'm going to relax. I just don't have it. Because that's life. And I think we need to be more comfortable. And I know I'm preaching to the choir to you, Pisces, because I think you just inherently live your life like this, that we gotta be more comfortable in the flow. And I think society, and specifically American culture, because our culture is built on capitalism, that we have idolized hustle culture for so long that we feel like if we're not grinding, then we're behind. And we've got to be more patient with ourselves, honestly. And we also need to, in my personal opinion, surrender a little bit more to the cosmos, because you might have plans to do one thing, but the cosmos have another. Okay, now that I'm off my soapbox, my whole point in saying that is, you might need to be tapping into a season of intentional intensity, but you might be resisting it. Okay, that's my long-winded. It's really all I was trying to get at. I'm so sorry, but I hope you got a message out of that, Pisces. Okay, major accomplishment, 8 of Cups. Now, like I said, Pisces got this as well, but I wonder if this is a little bit different for you. Excuse me, Aries got this as well. 8 of Cups is about walking away. And when we are walking away from something, it's usually out of self-preservation, walking away before all is lost, walking away before things get really terrible, walking away out of disappointment, but realizing things are not going your way, so you need to cash in your chips, right? So I'm really interested to see what this is about for you. Sometimes the 8 of Cups reverse is about giving something one more chance. So I'm interested if there's something you're going to be persevering through. 8 of Cups is also about needing time alone. That could be a message as well. Okay. What to avoid, Knight of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio is the energy here, but also the Knight of Cups is usually a romantic interest or somebody here with an offer of love. The Knight of Cups is also like romanticizing life and kind of putting your rose colored glasses on. It's like, I don't know, like I'm just kind of thinking about how like, it's easy to like get caught up in what you want to see. And I kind of feel like that might be the message here, Pisces, of like, no, it's fine. It'll all work out. I feel like this, I'm really interested to see what comes up in your love reading, but I feel like this is more a message of like you needing to not put rose colored glasses on. I think there's a real message here of you needed to be like realistic about something or someone. Well, I'm interested to see what comes up in your other readings. What to embrace is the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is fantasy. It's options. It's exploring your options. It is being choosy. It's also sometimes manifesting like what you desire. But the 7 of Cups is mostly about choice. So you need to embrace other options in some area of your life. And there is a message here of maybe not settling, especially if you are someone with an anxious attachment style. I highly recommend that book, Attached, if you haven't heard of it. But people with anxious attachment styles, and I happen to be one of those people, it's easy for them to lead with emotion and like get engaged in a relationship very quickly. And if a relationship starts to go south, it's hard for them to detach because they've already built up this fantasy in this life with this person, and they feel like they focus on like what's so great about that person that it's hard for them to imagine someone better. So I feel like with the Seven of Cups here, you need to be careful not to lean into that, especially if you're dating or maybe caught up in a relationship. Don't get caught up. I just saw a video by Tracee Ellis Ross today, which is so confusing. I'm literally so confused as to why her and so many other women are still single. I really genuinely think there must be an epidemic in the world. I don't understand. I'm like, how are these like even Keke Palmer talked about on her podcast how she's single. And I'm like, I don't get it. I actually really don't get it. Now we're talking about two different age groups. So like at what point, we can't even really blame it on readiness of like, because Tracee Ellis Ross, I think, is like in her 50s and Keke Palmer's in her 30s. And it's like, what are, I don't know. I don't want to get another tangent about that. The point that Tracee Ellis Ross was making was, she said, take a piece of paper. I happen to have one here. Take a piece of paper, write down, if you're dating, the facts about somebody. And on the same piece of paper on the other side, write the fantasy. And so some examples might include, okay, he smokes, he is in between jobs, I don't know, whatever the fuck. And then the fantasy is he wants to start a business, or he just started a business, it seems promising, but you don't really know. This motherfucker is like still like looking into drop shipping. I don't know. And I literally know nothing about drop shipping, so I don't really know if it's still a profitable business or not. The fantasy is he has money saved to buy a house, but you don't really know you don't know his finances, girl, you know? So what, or the fantasy is he works out a lot and has a really good body. And so like you focus on that instead of the facts, which are, girl, that man is unemployed. Talk about being an entrepreneur. Something I noticed, oh my God, I'm just follow me, Pisces, because I'm like really taking a lot of turns tonight, but I hope you are with me. I hate dating apps. I don't like them. I don't think anybody likes them. But even on my own dating profile, I have business owner in my profile. I do not have entrepreneur written. Even though I am technically an entrepreneur, I'm running a business. I'm running a psychic entertainment business. And that is literally realized through content creation, through in-person party entertainment, and in-person or virtual bookings. That is literally my business. Entrepreneurs are trying to get something off the ground. They're trying to get something started, okay? And I'm not saying that to brag about myself. I'm saying that to give you like an actual example. There is like, I don't really think business owners describe themselves as entrepreneurs. Does that make sense? Entrepreneur is so aspirational. And again, while that technically is what I am, I'm also in the thick of it. I'm also like, you know, there's systems in place. There's processes, there's schedules. This is way past a dream and a hope. You know, you might have been able to call me an entrepreneur in like 2022, but like at this point in 2025, this is the business. You know, so I'm saying that if you're dating somebody, Pisces, who's calling themselves an entrepreneur, again, in fantasy, oh, well, you know, I've got this idea and I'd like want to put it out there and I'm looking for investors. Okay, you're still an entrepreneur. This is not, and that's no tea, no shade on like what is possible for that person, but they haven't produced that yet. They haven't produced that yet. Oh my God, so many things are coming to me. I really hope this is helping you, Pisces. I'm thinking about that guy who started Barstool. I saw his interview with, I think he interviewed with Shay Shay on Club Shay Shay, I think. So if you want to watch it, you can find out. And I don't really know this guy's name. He is divorced from his wife, but he talked about the first few years were really, really hard for him. Really, really hard for him. But now I don't really know how much he makes, but he's very wealthy. And he has since divorced his wife, but he mentioned on Club Shay Shay that his wife has full access to his bank account, complete free reign. And so Shay Shay was asking, or Shannon Sharp was asking him, oh, like you just have trust like that? That doesn't have any, that doesn't, you know, come with any issues or anything. And he was saying to Shannon, like, that woman has stuck with me through like the hardest of times when we were trying to get it going, that she has earned access to those funds through her sacrifices, is what he was really saying. To now, he can be so comfortable financially that it really doesn't affect him. I can only imagine like how that might be complicated with his current partner. I don't know. That's really not my business. But my point again, in sharing that with you, is if you are dealing with somebody, I don't know why Spirit is giving this to me. Like, Pisces, please let me know in the comments if you're dealing with somebody who like is a little bit maybe too much of a dreamer. And you're already a dreamer, Pisces, so you maybe need to not be with a dreamer, okay? So my point is, if you are going to engage in a relationship with somebody who is a dreamer or somebody who hasn't necessarily proven a certain level of success yet, then you need to be very comfortable with the sacrifices that you may have to make. Just like, you know, the homeboy's wife, Barstool, I'm sure she had a lot of days, a lot of months, a lot of years when they went without. And that is why, words out of his mouth, he says, today, my ex-wife has full reins of my funds because she fucking pushed through. So, Pisces, you need to ask yourself, if you're dealing with somebody who's a little aspirational, who maybe is a little bit of a dreamer, do you have it in you to walk with that person in their dream state, in their aspirational phase, as they're figuring it out? Because you will need to be the rock. And like I said, you're already a dreamer. So you really need to figure out if that is a good match for you. I don't know who I'm ministering to right now. I don't know. I really don't. So please let me know that this isn't me just rambling, but let's continue. Okay, advice and encouragement is the sun, where to find support is the sun. The sun is oftentimes children. That's why a little child is on here. It's innocence, it's playfulness, it's clarity, and also tapping back into your inner joy and playfulness. So maybe there's a message here, Pisces, for you to have a little fun. Maybe you've been a little bit too serious. And advice and encouragement is the Three of Wands, which is expansion and growth, okay, leveling up. So I'm really happy to see that. And oh, I just realized I didn't pick your message. So let's do that now. Let's do that now. Whoops. For Pisces, please, for the month of November 2025. I'm just going to pick one because this deck is really big. Pisces, November 2025. Cool. We'll use that. I don't know what it is, but we'll use that one. Okay. Okay, let's clarify some of this, and then we'll move on to your love and relationships. Okay, what do I want to confirm first? I don't think I need to confirm these two. These feel pretty straightforward to me. I do want to confirm the Four of Pentacles, where, or why the Four of Pentacles is your key goal to pursue. Clarify the Four of Pentacles, please, for Pisces, November 2025. Thief, okay. You might have lost money recently. And the original card is Thief, but I wrote Cunning. Someone might have wasted your time. Someone, or maybe something is, you may come to realize something or someone is wasting your time this month. You may come to realize that something or someone is draining your resources this month. So I want you to be very conscious about how much you invest in something. You may also be dealing with somebody that's selling you a dream. Be very careful about people. Y'all, these are the times where scams are high. The scammers are scamming because people are desperate. So I want you to, and because Pisces, you have a good heart, You want to see the best in people. I want you to be very careful about who and what you invest in at this time, because people might be out here saying, well, yeah, if you invest in this MLM, and they're never going to call it a fucking MLM, multi-level marketing scheme. Well, you invested us and you got to get 3 people under you, and then that's how you grow and that's how you make commissions, and it's a daily grind, but it's worth it, and you get the car, da 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 da. Be careful of what people are saying. Yeah, well, if you invest this now, then like you can get this much back later. Let me tell you something. People who are really wealthy, truly wealthy, did not get wealthy from MLM or network marketing, except maybe like the early people from Mary Kay, like very, very early, you know, okay? Stick to traditional ways that people build wealth, and honestly, stay away from get rich quick schemes. Wealth is built over time. Wealth is not built over 9 months. So really even be careful about the clickbaity stuff. I'm going to show you how to make $10,000 a month in 6 months. You know, like what? And even if that's possible, you are really killing it. That is intentional intensity for real. People who somehow flip their money to make $10,000 in 6 months or something like that, they are, best believe they are grinding it out. And usually they have some sort of support. Either they have financial support where they can where they have a little bit of time, a bit of room to experiment, or maybe someone else is supporting them, okay? So really be careful of get rich quick schemes right now. Pisces, I want you to be realistic. I want you to keep one foot on the ground, which makes more sense now with the Queen of Swords. Being perceptive, being wise to people's bullshit, seeing through people. Okay, clarify Queen of Swords for Pisces, please. Obstacle to overcome. Thoughts. Kind of hate this card. Maybe, I mean, the swords, all of the swords are connected to thoughts and communication. So maybe there's a message here that you are a little too caught up in your thoughts, but that's not usually the message of the Queen of Swords. Let me see, what else you got here for Pisces? Obstacle to overcome. Gift is coming out. This could be sometimes like an actual gift being given to you, or maybe needing to make use of a gift. Pisces, remember that you are a communicator. Pisces are the communicators of the water signs. So maybe you need to use your gift of speaking or public speaking in some way. Maybe start to develop a platform. I just noticed recently, last night, TikTok is trying to, not trying, I haven't really come in any lives like this recently, but TikTok has recreated Clubhouse. I was like just like playing around with TikTok last night, and I saw that it kind of had like an option for you to go live, but people can join your live just like Clubhouse used to be, where you're not really on camera, but you're kind of doing like a live podcast kind of thing, like a mass discussion sort of thing. So that might be something that's interesting for you, because I noticed that a lot of Pisces are very uncomfortable on camera. But again, Pisces, you're a very good communicator. So maybe tap into that if you've been thinking about going live, or thinking about sharing your voice or opinion in some way. I'm so interested to see what comes up in your career and finance reading. Okay, what we got here? King of Cups. Okay, interesting. The King of Cups is a master at managing emotions. I saw recently somebody said that Pisces is the therapist of the zodiac, and I completely agree. Completely agree. I actually think it's in my other deck, Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the therapist, but same premise here. There's something here about healing and compassion and holding space for others. Let's keep going. All right, let's figure out what this Eight of Cups is. Major accomplishment for you, Pisces. Okay, walking away from something or someone. So maybe we're walking away from a job. Maybe we're walking away from a business. Okay, can you clarify what this is for Pisces, please? I think this is upside down. Clarify what Pisces is walking away from. Okay, we've got Nine of Swords and the Judgment. Something will be causing you a lot of stress. The Nine of Swords is insomnia, anxiety. You're wondering if you're making the right decision with the Judgment here. I'm hearing call it quits. You're just like trying to decide if it's time to call it quits on something. Honestly, Pisces, I mean, I want you to follow your intuition first and foremost, but if something is feeling laborious, I'm giving you permission to let it go. And it may not even be that it's something that you let go of forever, but maybe something you let go of right now. Because I am feeling that you don't have a container to hold space for something in this season of your life. I know that was like a lot of buzzwords. But that's really like what I'm getting here. Okay, so let me try to make a practical connection, but a short one because I've chatted so much. Okay, so Spirit is giving me like a sports team. Maybe before you were really passionate about like coaching, like your daughter's cheerleading team or whatever the fuck. And right now you just don't have the space. You might quite literally not even have the gas money. Maybe the practice is on the other side of town and it's just adding a lot of pressure to not only the finances of the household, but also your mental health. You might need to walk away from something that just isn't fulfilling you in this season. Okay? So we'll see what that is. But I do think I'm just jumping ahead here. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be lack of progress in your life. I think there is expansion and growth, but you're being asked to make room. Okay? Let's look into this Knight of Cups. Clarify, I don't want to use a kipper for this. Clarify the Knight of Cups with the tarot, please, for what to avoid for Pisces. Eight of Pentacles. Again, this is related to work. So I do think the message is here, avoid putting rose-colored glasses on in relation to your work. The message is kind of similar to Aries, honestly, in terms of like, I was telling you, Aries got the Page of Pentacles in this position, but the message is kind of similar. Like, I'm going to tell you exactly what I told Aries because I think really truly the message is the same. You have all the information you need, okay? Don't keep grinding something out. The definition of insanity is doing something the same way and expecting different results. Doing the exact same thing is expecting different results. You already have the information you need. Don't delude yourself, Aries, in thinking that, oh, if I write it out, it'll be okay. No, you need to open yourself up to other options. You're being a little too idealistic, I think is the message. And I guess in a way, the message is a little different from Aries because Aries is like wanting to find solutions and work it out. I don't think you're really trying to work it out. I think you're trying to be optimistic. And I think the time for being optimistic is over. Sorry. It's time to open up horizons, babe. And I'm not sure. We're going to find out if this is in relation to your love and relationships or if this is around your career and finances. But it kind of looks like it's related to your career. Okay, where to find support? The Sun. I do want to use the kipper for that. Clarify the Sun, please, for Pisces. Where to find support? Concern. $33. I don't know if any of you guys are religious or Christian spiritualists as I am, but I'm looking 33. I think is like the Jesus year, and the light is coming through. That's kind of like important to me. The scene, technically, it looks like somebody is almost like concerned that somebody's about to pass away, especially because this is a peace lily, which I think are usually flowers for grief, I think. I don't know. But with the sun here, clarifying the sun, there's a message of getting clarity. Like, pay attention to this golden hue coming through. I do think there's a message to connect with your higher power at this point, to kind of hear God's voice, if you will. I'm hearing my therapist's voice. She's not very religious, but she was like, I don't really know about, religion, but I know there's something about that sun. She said, I know if that sun goes out, then we toast. And I kind of agree with her. And, her whole point is like, I can't really tell you what deities are. And she is spiritual. I really wouldn't call her like a scientist or something like that. But she is very spiritual in a sense where she does believe in a higher power. I might call her agnostic. But I think in her own way, she kind of looks at the sun as like a sun god, if you will, as like the Mayans did. And there is something about the sun, something about maybe getting vitamin D, maybe traveling to get a little sun. That could be a message here with the Three of Wands. Maybe you might be traveling. I mean, winter hasn't even really started yet, but maybe you are feeling the need to kind of like just get out in the sun, just be out in the open. I was just in Georgia a couple weeks ago, and it was like sunny. It was like hot. I was surprised. I mean, I don't know why I was surprised, but so maybe you're in a place where like, maybe you don't have to go far. Like, you don't have to go to the islands to just get some warm weather. Clarify, please, the sun for Pisces. What we got here? The Chariot and the Strength card again. Okay, and the Strength card, when we have repeating cards, I want you guys to write that down. Okay, so we have 7 and 8 things happening in congruence. The Chariot represents Cancer. The Strength card represents Leo, in case that's important to you. But the Chariot I always look at as travel or moving forward, or moving on from something or someone. Okay. It also connects to cars. Sometimes I think about the Chariot. I don't think there's a message about cars here, but I think this is more a message about moving forward and traveling, maybe. Moving on, moving forward from something or someone. The Chariot is a very future-focused card to me. Whenever I see the Chariot, you're not looking back. You're like, man, that shit is toast. I just watched that movie this past weekend. What is it? With Matthew McConaughey, The Lost Bus. Honey, I was on the edge of my seat. And side note, Apple TV is producing great, amazing content. I think it actually is very underrated. I was on the edge of my seat with that movie, and literally they could not look back. They were like, we're going forward, and that is it. That is it. Like, there's no going back. There's no going back. We can only get away from this thing. And I kind of feel like that's the message here, Pisces. Like, don't look back, you know? There's a message of like, walk away. I'm hearing so many songs. I'm hearing Walk Away by Kelly Clarkson. I'm hearing Don't Look Back by Telepop Music. I'm not going to sing all the songs, but these are songs just coming through. Yeah. I don't think I need to clarify the Three of Wands, expansion and growth. But I think really the sun here is more about getting clarity on what's ahead of you or what's ahead for you. You might have some concerns of like, oh, am I really going to do this? Am I really going to take this leap of faith? Am I really going to, you might feel like you're blowing up your life, but I kind of don't feel like you are. Even though I don't have the Fool here, which typically represents taking a leap of faith. Okay, I'm going to try to clarify all this really, really quickly, Pisces. Let me just get my ish together here. Okay, let's simplify all this. Okay, so starting off the month, feeling very confident, very charismatic. The theme of the month is persevering and like tapping into those reserves to kind of push through the month of November. Key goal to pursue is saving, conserving, and withholding the energy that you do have because you need it for what's most important. Obstacle to overcome is Queen of Swords, maybe air sign, but potentially this is about you tapping into a lot of energy, tapping into what's smart versus what you feel, kind of like being very perceptive as far as like what's going on around you. End of the month, major accomplishment, we're walking away from something or someone, potentially a job. What to avoid is romanticizing. Rose-colored glasses. Avoid romanticizing a relationship that's not going well. Avoid romanticizing a job that isn't serving you anymore, okay? Or potentially water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Open yourself up to some options this month, what to embrace. Expand your horizons. Have some fun, where to find support. Make time for fun. That will allow you to have some clarity and think of the future, think of the way forward versus looking back. And by the end of the month, we should be feeling a sense of progress. A lot of times with the Three of Wands, you aren't necessarily in this stage of like embracing all of the blessings, but you more so see the blessings coming in with the Three of Wands. It's like you've already bought your flight, but you're not on the plane, if that makes sense, okay? All right, so that's what we have for the month of November. I know that was very, very long. I think it must be because I'm getting a little tired, but I'm look, the Chariot is right here next to the Three of Wands. You might be traveling by the end of November, Pisces. You might be traveling, okay? All right, I hope that's helpful. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, just Gabby. I'm a little tired, but I just did Aries and I was going to go in order as I normally do, but I was like, no, let me do Pisces because sometimes I do like to go backwards because like I go to Pisces, Aquarius, and all that, Capricorn. But I was like, let me do Pisces because sometimes I'd be feeling like I'd be throwing Pisces at the end and I give y'all like 5 minutes of my time. Like when I start the forecast, I'm like energetic and I'm chatty. And usually by the end of it, I'm like so tired. I'm like, oh my God, let me get these done. So I was like, let me just do first and last. So Aries is done. You're about to be done. And I think that's all I'm going to do tonight. And then I'm going to, maybe I might do my hair or something. I don't know. Okay. Okay, let's look into your love life. Okay, so remember your cards are already shuffled. What to expect this month in your love life? Love and relationships. Unexpected. Okay. Both of these feel so contradictory. We're theme of the month. Okay. King of Cups, Knight of Cups again here. Okay, when we have repeating cards, definitely take a look. Our back of the deck energy is Eight of Wands. So maybe in the recent past, maybe you just took a trip with someone, or maybe things have felt like they're moving fast with a romantic partner. Maybe you have a partner that was recently traveling for work. I don't know. I don't know what oracle deck I want to use yet, so I'm just going to start this reading and let it come to me. Okay. What to expect? We have the Two of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Air sign energy again, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And then we also have the Two of Pentacles reversed. Two of Pentacles is typically balancing and juggling priorities and finances. When it's reversed, it's like feeling sometimes overwhelmed by all of the priorities, all of the things you're juggling. But it can also be a sense that your finances and priorities are out of order. But with the King of Swords, I do think there is an effort of trying to get things in order. You may even be working with your partner to like settle your affairs, kind of like get your business, like get your money in order. Like you might really be working on that as a couple, whether or not you're involved with an air sign. Like the air sign, like the King of Swords is very intelligent, very cerebral. I think there might be an expectation or understanding already going into November. Okay, we need to kind of like get our finances together, get our priorities together. Let's figure this out together. And again, because your key goal to pursue this month is Four of Pentacles, Pisces, you may already be aware. You may already see the writing on the wall, especially because you're very intuitive of how, this economy is going to go, given the current state of things. So you may be feeling intuitively led to go ahead and prepare and go ahead and tighten your belt now versus later and figure out where you can trim the fat, you know? I hope that makes sense. If you're not dating, I mean, you know, apply this whether you're single and dating or in a committed relationship. But I do feel that there could also be a message here that maybe you and your partner have different priorities right now, and maybe that's a problem of you guys trying to figure out like what you want to prioritize. Maybe one of you wants to save for a wedding while the other wants to save for a house, that kind of thing. Like maybe you guys are just kind of have competing, you're struggling to kind of get on the same page of what you find most important. But I do think you're trying. Okay, so the unexpected is the Six of Wands, which is victory, success, and achievement, and recognition. And the Temperance. The Temperance does connect to Sagittarius energy in case that's important to you. But it's also about balance, compromise, and patience, okay? But when we have that energy reversed, there's oftentimes impatience, there's lack of compromise. But to me, the unexpected would point towards, it would point towards success with someone who maybe you didn't see eye to eye with. Like if you were already, and maybe it's, you know, over here, maybe you just like, let's just use the wedding and house example for a second. Maybe like you really want a wedding, your partner really wants a house, and you've kind of already going into November thinking, okay, well, fuck it, I'm not getting the wedding. Like, I don't know. But maybe you guys find a way to finally compromise. Maybe the Six of Wands is, you know, victory here. So there seems to be a way forward here. But let's just see what the Kipper deck has to say. Like, clarify, please, the unexpected for Pisces. I think that was a community card. It is. It is. Ugh. Here you go. I'm also just paying attention to the imagery on the card. The Temperance, you know, just having the family together. You might be feeling, for example, look, as we say, that family room's the back of the deck energy. You know, November is the month of Thanksgiving, so you may be feeling very accomplished and like maybe being around your family, or even if you are estranged from family, like being around people that you really connect with and like still feeling validated and successful in that, you know? Okay. Theme of the month, Three of Cups reversed. Three of Cups is typically playfulness. It is community. It is, you know, the friends and family card. When it's reversed, especially in a relationship reading, it often points to either a third party energy, and especially because it's next to the Three of Pentacles, there might be an issue with third party energy here, okay? Now, granted, there's a lot of messages coming through about this, so I'm going to try to interpret this in all the ways. With this card being reversed, maybe the third party, maybe you've known about, but like maybe the third party's out of the picture. If we're not talking about third party, the Three of Cups reversed is often a time to reconnect. Like there might be a message here of like you reconnecting with your partner. If you guys have felt like very far away. That was kind of coming through this as well. I kind of feel like maybe like you and your person's like schedules maybe have been misaligned. And I think there is a desire to like have more time together. We've got the Three of Pentacles here. Three of Pentacles is collaboration, working as a team and coming together. I do feel like despite feeling like estranged from each other, there is a desire to like figure this out. We do have the King of Pentacles here, fire, earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. The King of Pentacles is typically someone who is secure, stable. That's why we have all this wood here. When it's reversed, it typically represents bad investments. It can represent instability. There's a real message of instability this month, okay? And then the Knight of Cups again here reversed. Typically, again, the Romeo, but with its reverse, the Knight of Cups reverse is like definitely player energy, but it can also just represent somebody who's just not invested in a connection or a relationship the way that you think they are. So I am going to use the Romance Angels in this deck, and I also am going to use the Healing Heart Journey. What do you have for Pisces, please, for the month of November 2025? New love. Okay, that's interesting. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. I'm not really getting that here, but okay. Release your ex. I don't know why I laughed at that. Sorry. The time has come to clear your energy. But again, maybe remember what to avoid was Knight of Cups in your monthly spread, and Knight of Cups is here again. Some of you might have realized that your person wasn't as faithful as you thought they were. And maybe this new love, maybe could be connected to somebody that you didn't expect would like you back. I don't know. I've never said that before, but it's kind of what I'm getting of like, you maybe had a crush on somebody and you didn't expect them to want you to. Like you find out that they like message I'm getting. What do you have for Pisces, please? Okay. Overthinking, convoluting the facts, justifying staying together, stop obsessing and act. Heavy on the justifying staying together. Going back to what to avoid, the Knight of Cups. Don't over romanticize this. Do not over romanticize this. Ooh. Feelings. Still very in love, can't get over them trying to reconcile. Girl, and Spirit is over here like literally telling you, bitch, stop, please, for the love of God. And it may not even be that a new love comes in the picture this month, but it might be that Spirit is trying to get you to turn your attention to the possibility of somebody new. What? Ooh. Okay, wait, hold on. All my cards are about to fall. Grab, because I'm far away. First, I want to understand why you're holding on to this connection. Why is Pisces holding on to this connection? Shit. God damn it. I dropped like way too many cards. Oh. Okay, why is Pisces holding on to this connection? Just one, please. Just one card. Why is Pisces holding on to this? Okay. If it's the Rose card again, I swear to God. Okay, it's Neroli. Unity. I am unstable. I said that. I said there's instability this month. True statement. I am aware. You are strengthening your connection between your energetic and physical bodies to help you manifest your goals. Okay, interesting. So I think the reason why you're staying with this person is because of their resources. I don't know if that is true or not, but that looks like the only reason why you're still dealing with this person, because it's easier to deal with the devil you know. And if you go and try to start over, then that's going to be harder than staying with them. Now, I don't know your situation, so I know I'm talking cash money shit, like, oh, just leave them, but I don't know your situation. You might need to hold on to that relationship for a little bit because these rents are high. Okay. I don't know why I'm laughing through this thing. I just hope I'm making you laugh, Pisces. Okay. And especially if you're in a toxic or, unsafe relationship, please do everything in your power to exit. But if it's a little bearable, I might hold on till I get my shit together. Okay. Anything for Pisces? Okay. I wish I could take back my words. Interesting. This is my Hidden Truth Oracle. Anything for Pisces? And I know I was a distraction from your pain. Low key, Pisces, I feel like you're trying to like hold on to somebody who's already rejected you. If you're dating. Kind of feel like you're trying to hold on to somebody where you know it's not really the vibe. It's not really what you want, but it's either convenient or you may just be a little codependent right now. And I'm not even here to judge you about that. I kind of feel like these are hard times, and I kind of understand why you might hold on to a shred of a relationship, but I really do feel that source is trying to tell you that this is not the way. Now, again, you know, if this is resonating, great, but if it's not, please don't blow up your marriages because a tarot reader on the internet said to do that. I'm just trying to give you some information and some things to think about. This is a mass message meant to reach a lot of people. And if you are truly uncertain about your relationship, I'd much rather you book a private session with me. So take what you can out of this message. But yeah, I'm really kind of getting the sense that Pisces, you're dealing with somebody that's not really obsessed with you. And I want you to be dealing with somebody who's obsessed with you. Yeah. Okay. I don't really have anything else to add besides that. I hope that's helpful. I really do. I really do. You know, if you're in a committed relationship, do what you can to maybe, you know, do some counseling, you know. But I don't know. I really kind of feel like this message is maybe a little bit more for people who are maybe dating. But if you were able to take some messages out of that and you're in a committed relationship or a marriage, definitely let me know. Because I'm not trying to blow up marriages here, but if you're dating and you already know it's not a good fit, you should probably just go ahead and do yourself a favor and exit while you can, you know? Okay. I should probably read the new love card. Let me read that before I move on to the release your ex is pretty straightforward, but I'm going to read the new love card because I think it might resonate for people who are in committed relationships. Okay, let me see. Where is it? My contacts are getting so dry. Oh my God. Let me see. EMGHJKLMP. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Okay. The romance angels have sent you this card like a Valentine greeting, signaling the introduction of someone new into your love life. Perhaps you've recently met this person and your interest was piqued. This card validates that your connection was mutual and real. It is safe for you to explore it, and the romance angels will guide you and your actions accordingly. Excuse me. Oh, please. I usually sneeze multiple times in a row, so I'm hoping that that was just a one and done. Of course, if you are already in a committed relationship, you'll want to consult your angels and perhaps a counselor or other trusted person to get insight into your feelings. While running into the arms of a suitor may sound passionate, the reality of guilt over the affair will soon weigh heavily upon you. It's better to confront the issues within your present relationship than that left your emotional doors open for someone else. This card could also mean that you'll soon meet a new person. In these cases, the romance angels are asking you to keep the faith that love is in your cards. You deserve love and you are lovable. The angels guide you to be aware and as you never know when your partner will arrive. That's kind of why I wanted to read this message, because I did know that there's a message in there for people who might be interested in someone new but are in a committed relationship. I think that might be resonating for Pisces if you're in a committed relationship. But low key, I feel like Pisces always have a wandering eye, if I'm just being honest. if I'm 100% honest, I kind of feel like Pisces always has a wandering eye. So again, let me know if that was helpful for you, but we're going to move on to your career and your finances. Let's see what's going on there. Okay, what to expect. I'm going to have to fix this. Okay, the world, how lovely, the unexpected. The moon, you got your card here of the Queen of Swords again. Okay. All right, Spirit, what do you have for Pisces? What do you have for Pisces for the month of November? Excuse me. Okay. We've got rescuer, transporter, and work hard in silence. Okay. Ugh. Okay. What to expect. We've got the Ace of Wands reversed and the World. The Ace of Wands reversed, well, just upright. It's typically a new idea, a spark, a passion. This could be relationships, but in professional readings, it's like the excitement for something new, a new project, a new role, a new, especially creatively. But with this energy reverse, oftentimes the Ace of Wands reverse points towards either lack of motivation or like not being as interested or inspired as you used to be. Now, granted that it's with the World here, I would throw in that maybe there's a job that you're excited about that hasn't started yet, because the World is closures, it's major accomplishments, it's chapters closing. So you may be ready to embark on something new now that a chapter is closing, and that's already in your awareness, okay? Like maybe excited to start something new. Does that make sense? Okay, the unexpected is the Page of Swords and the Moon. The Page of Swords is typically like the researcher. It's air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Very communicative, very much informative. They like to share their ideas. They like to receive information. When this card is reversed, it can represent somebody who feels shut down, somebody who doesn't feel safe enough to share their ideas. You may be holding a lot of ideas in. You may not feel safe to share your ideas in a professional environment. I'm getting just a sense of feeling like very shut down professionally. Maybe somebody has made you feel dumb. Excuse me. There might be a circumstances or a situation that just happened or that will happen this month that makes you feel like you're stupid, like you know what you're talking about, or somebody makes you feel inferior. The moon is about fears, the unconscious, the dreams. It does represent Pisces. It's about needing to focus on your intuition, needing to focus on the unseen, needing to trust what you feel and what you sense versus what you can see. I'm hearing no amount of wisdom, no amount of research could have prepared you for this. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know what you're going through, Pisces, but you may be beating yourself up, like feeling like you should have been ready for this, should have like been prepared for this. And I'm just getting the sense that you couldn't have prepared for it. So I think you just need to let that go. There wasn't a way that you could have seen this coming. Whatever this is, but this technically feels to me like a place, like financial insecurity, given this rescuer card, because you need to be rescued. Okay, someone new may enter your life and help you resolve any difficulties you're experiencing. I don't know why I said someone new. That's not what this says. Okay, but it could be someone new. Someone may enter your life. Consider careers as a firefighter, paramedic, or any rescue or heroic profession. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Quite the opposite. It shows your strength. Whenever I get this card in my own readings, it's usually somebody that I do know, usually. And it usually is somebody that like comes in and like I get in like a gig out of nowhere, or a booking out of nowhere usually comes in and just like, you know, or just like something or someone like pays for my services in a way that I didn't expect. This usually is unexpected. Okay, let's keep going. Theme of the month, Six of Pentacles. For me, this really does connect to the Rescuer card, okay, because this is about receiving money. Whenever we have the Six of Pentacles, it's about giving and receiving money. With it being reversed, I do feel like this is more about you receiving money than giving money. We do have the Devil here, which is Capricorn energy, in case that's important, but it's also connected to attachments. I do connect it to work, as it is, as a work contract is a willing agreement. I do this to get that. This is also representative of passions and things you could overindulge in or spend your money on. The Queen of Swords is here again, air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but the need to be perceptive and like lock up that water, just kind of focus on the facts versus what you feel. I know I'm saying to trust your intuition, but with the Queen of Swords, you need to trust what you feel, but don't be emotional about it. Don't let your emotionals rule you, okay? Eight of Swords, feeling trapped, feeling stuck, feeling victimized, listening to the negative thoughts. I think, Pisces, you're unsure. I think you're a little weary of an offer that will be made to you this month. And I think you're focusing on all the ways it could go wrong versus all the ways that it could go right. Being very honest. Let's look at this Transporter card. This card is a good indicator that things will start moving for you rather quickly. A career in transportation, such as travel, driving, or shipping, could appeal to you. You could travel for work, or perhaps you need to take action on some financial matter. I think this tracks, given that we've had the Chariot come out for you, and also the Three of Wands. I do think there is some sort of travel or transportation in your future this month. There also might be a level of pressure of like somebody wants to maybe offer you money to do a job, and you might be feeling incompetent. You might be feeling like, who am I to like charge this much, or who am I to like, you know, I'm kind of getting those feelings here, but I do want you to kind of like stand in your power a little bit, Pisces, okay? And your confidence, and like that you have accumulated a certain amount of information and knowledge and wisdom, and that you do deserve to be compensated fairly for that. Okay, so overall, it seems like you're closing out a chapter. To me, it looks like you're closing out a job. Unexpectedly, you may get caught up in like negative emotions, or maybe even feeling overwhelmed, potentially feeling overwhelmed by the need to like study up and learn a lot of information, maybe drowning in information of needing to, you know, required in order to get a certification or like get up to speed in training or something. That might be a message here, maybe feeling overwhelmed in training for a new job. But theme of the month is that you will receive money that you need. We have somebody coming in to help you, whether you know it or not. There is some travel coming in, so you will be spending some money on traveling, it looks like to me. But you just need to get out of your head and feeling like unworthy, okay? Let's look at your monthly message. I don't, Chrysocolla, 16. I think I read this once, but I forgot what it means. Okay, here we go. So I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I am gonna show you on camera so that if you want to read the whole thing, you can read it for yourself. So I'm gonna pause the first page here. Here's the second page. Here's the third page. And here's the fourth page. Okay, so essential meaning is speaking your truth, heartfelt communication, right speech. That would very much be Page of Swords, speaking your truth. Because again, it's like that feeling of shut down, like I was saying, like maybe you're biting your tongue for some reason. Okay. When you speak your truth, you are being true. Just like cord is in the way. When you speak your truth, you are being true to your soul's desire to participate in the co-creation of a better world and a better life for you. Christophilus' spirit message for clear, authentic speech that arises from your heart is this: the force of the conscious universe's love is here for you today as you choose to speak up and speak out, for you can be a clear channel for what needs to be said. Your voice is so very important, for you are unique, Whitney, for you are a unique being with your own calling and destiny. Let me read that sentence again. Let me figure out where the fuck this sentence starts. Your voice is so very important, for you are a unique being with your own calling and destiny, and the conscious universe expresses truth through you. Practice choosing your words consciously as you voice a difficult truth or speak up on behalf of someone who has felt powerless for too long. Be assured that because of your commitment to heartfelt communication, your voice will ring out, cutting through the noise today. I think that's interesting because at the beginning, remember, I was rambling about a little bit how, TikTok has made this new thing and like you're a communicator and like you need to tap into that. Y'all, when I say I be knowing my shit, like I love, and you guys know if you're not here for the first time, I like to save these messages for last because it really does tie in the message together and like kind of confirm a lot of the things that I've already kind of gathered intuitively. So yeah, I'm just like getting eyeliner off of stuff I've had sitting on top of makeup. Okay, so anyway, speak your truth. Speak your truth. I love when cards kind of all have a same hue. There's a lot of greens and blues here. Okay, a lot of greens and blues. So I might even suggest that you work with those colors this month. I do feel like there is a need for like healing your aura, clearing your aura, cleansing your aura. Don't be afraid to look up an aura cleansing video or a distance Reiki healing video. I love Reiki with Anna. I love her YouTube channel so much. Sometimes I just turn her shit on and I just like be in dark and I'll go to bed to like her videos because she does like point of view or POV distance Reiki videos. Now she is a Scorpio, so I tell people all the time there's a mild sexual undertone to her content. I'm not aroused when I watch her content, but I feel like there's a lot of people who do watch her video for that reason. Okay. Yeah, I want you to wear blues and greens and turquoises this month. I think there's just a need to like just clench it. Or even something I used to do all the time. I don't really do it much anymore. I used to get my toes painted a color that I was working on, like the chakra that I was working on. So if I felt like maybe my heart chakra needed some work, I might look at a green or a pink. If I felt like I needed to work on solar plexus, I would get like an orange. So that's something I used to do just energetically, just to kind of like just work on healing. And there's like a bunch of healing videos as well. I don't know if I have any posted anywhere. I feel like I do if I really think about it. I usually email them to my clients. Okay, well, just do a Google search and you should be fine. I'm like rubbing the fuck out of my eye right now. Like these contacts are like, I really need to just throw them out. I really just need to do that, but for some reason I'm not. Okay, Pisces, I think that's all I have for you. I love you. Thanks for spending all this time with me. I know I just really chatted the whole day away, but I hope you were watching me while you were doing dishes or something. So that's like when I watch tarot readings, whether I'm doing my hair or like doing chores. So hope that was helpful. I love you so much. Have a great month. Drop some comments below. If you're watching for your sun sign, watch for your moon and your rising as well. Bye, Pisces. Have a great month.